Hello. Hello, everyone. Hope you're having a lovely day. Thank you, Test Tribe, for inviting me to speak at TestFlix. It's an honor and privilege for me. I'm Seema Prabhu. I'm the head of QA at Motork, and today I will be talking to you about tearing down the QA wall. Have you heard of the term throwing it over the wall? Probably you have been at the receiving end of this as well. What if we could tear down the wall so there's nothing to throw over it? I believe change is rarely easy. Building a healthy team is a monumental task, but it's well worth every effort. Now, imagine you're part of a team working on tight deadlines. Developers in your team are performing little or no testing at all to verify the requirement that is being met. As far as code compiles, a build is handed over to the test team. This build may or may not work. Now, you are testing this. You have to understand, make time to understand how this new feature works. Um, Raise bugs if you find any. Some of them may not be even real bugs because you had lack of information. This will then frustrate developers, delivery managers, the product team. As a tester, you will be context switching between broken builds and testing the new feature. And this is frustrating to you as a tester. Now let's look at another scenario. You're part of a sprint team. It's the last few days of the sprint. This is when the amount of testing is growing exponentially because everything is being thrown over the wall in a hurry to complete the sprint. Now, bugs are being fixed in a hurry. This might cause further regression and tech debt. And if it is not fixed, we do not complete the sprint, which means everyone in the team is disappointed. Delivery managers also might face the unwelcome choice. Should we delay the release or should we reduce the time to test? No guesses here which option gets chosen. Do these scenarios sound familiar to you? Yeah? Okay. How does throwing over the wall affect test teams? When untested code, partially met acceptance criteria, or broken builds are passed to the test team to work on, it displays lack of respect, lack of accountability, and testers feel as if their time and effort is not valued and appreciated. The end result of throwing code over the wall is not just that the quality is affected, there will be a delay in delivery, stakeholders will be unhappy, developers and testers will be dissatisfied, and eventually we also see the effect of this on unhappy customers. This further creates mistrust between testers and developers. The blame game starts. And when this happens repeatedly, the team becomes unhealthy. Have you worked in an organization or a team which was unhealthy? I have. I have once worked on a project where everyone was overwhelmed with tight deadlines. Code was being pushed into production in the name of shipping faster without sufficient testing. There was constant conflict between developers and QA. Most conversations was us versus them. Testing and engineering processes were not integrated. On one hand, you had developers who were building new features without involving testers or throwing the build which was unstable or not testable over to testers. And on the other hand, you had testers who were raising bugs with not much clarity, um, or raising false alarms, bugs which were not real bugs because of lack of information. They were working on automation projects but not sharing it with anyone, so there was no visibility. There was mistrust in the team, siloed working. Leaders were not aligned about what is quality, how to achieve it, and there was inconsistency in processes about what is important. complaints from all directions, customers, stakeholders, developers, testers, senior leadership. The team was seeing work as drudgery. There was no hope for success, and they felt like as if we were out of control and set up for failure. Team members had diminished sense of hope, and this we saw sometimes even leak into family life and personal life. The effect of unhealthy team is not just limited to the team members. Organization also is affected. Now, talented employees were leaving the organization. Productivity decreased. Unhappy customers were threatening to leave. All of this caused caused monetary loss to the organization, and it cost the organization more to recover from the situation. It takes a significant toll on the team. Now, let's take a moment and imagine, what if there was no wall? What would it look like? There would be clarity in roles and responsibilities. Everyone would be accountable. There would be high morale in the team, high productivity, low turnover. That's what healthy teams look like. But what does it mean for testers? Now, imagine a sprint where planning sessions, pre-planning sessions, testers are being involved in cross-functional meetings and planning meetings. They're given a chance to ask questions, to provide in their inputs or insights into what is being developed. During the sprint, developers are testing basic functionality and checking if the acceptance criteria is being met before it is handed over to QA, which means testers can then spend more time doing more important things like testing. A demo or a walkthrough, a documentation of the work that is completed is then shared across. If anything is incomplete or if any information changes, testers are informed. Bugs are fixed in a timely manner. If it is not possible to fix the bug in a timely manner, then that is communicated. Testers share information actively about what was being tested, provide actionable data about the bugs that are being found, provide information about testing in a timely manner and with clarity. Share regular updates about what testing was carried out to the wider team. And when testers work on automation projects, they don't keep it to themselves, but share regular updates to the wider team. For example, you're working on a proof of concept for automation frameworks, then share the insights and learnings from this proof of concept. What tools did you consider? What options were available? What did you learn from it? What are the pros and cons of each of these options? Share it with the wider team. It's about being open to others, being open to different opinions, being humble, and not being afraid of judgments. When both developers and testers respect each other, they will understand the need for each other's role. They will understand the needs of each other. They will value what the other is doing, and they will respect each other as internal customers. Healthy teams means healthy organization, which means there is competitive advantage over its competitors. Why are we not doing this yet? Isn't this what we strive for? I guess some of you are thinking this is fluffy stuff. This is not realistic. It doesn't work in my situation. And some are even rolling up their eyes and saying, it's easier than said than done, Seema. Yeah. Sometimes we just try to ignore the negative information with the hope that it'll go away, that it'll get better automatically. This is called ostrich effect. We're sticking our heads in the sand. Instead, face it, face these without any delay, have the confidence that we can navigate this. To tell the truth, it's not easy. It's a process of building trust and respect. There will be conflicts. You will feel challenged. Egos will be hurt, but it's totally worth it in the long run. So how do we tear down this wall and build a healthy team? Health of an organization and in turn a team is much more important than just talent and intelligence. We are generally comfortable with numbers, with data, with structure, with process, with strategy. We understand better measurable objectives. We understand data driven metrics. But subjective conversations, on the other hand, is awkward and avoided. So, what do we do to tear down this wall? I will talk about what we did and what worked for us. Hope it resonates with you. We got together as a team and started answering three simple questions. What do we do? How will we succeed? And what is most important right now? Those are the three questions we started to answer. Avoid perfection paralysis while answering this. More than getting the right answer, what is important is that you get simple answers which every team member will commit to. What do we do? The team needs to know what they do matters, clarity about why we exist, what problem are we solving for the organization, how are we supporting, or who are we supporting. Write this in simple words that even a 5-year-old can understand. We say QAs need to be involved much earlier in the process, but how does involving QA early solve any problem? What value is it adding? And what not just value to you as from a QA team, but also what's in it for them, what's in it for developers or product team. Make sure everyone is on the same page. How will we succeed? The S word, strategy, tools, technology. We come up with all this, but is this enough? No. What does success look like? Reduce bugs in production, clarity of process within teams. Each one knows what happens at what stage, what's the definition of ready, what's the definition of done. Everyone in the team, whether it's QA, product, infrastructure, developers, have the same context and sufficient information to carry out their task. Each stakeholder must be aware of the QA processes. When you involve the team, and when to involve the team and when not to involve the team. We don't want information overload. So, and lastly, what is most important right now? Right now, answer to this question will have an immediate and tangible impact on your team and your organization. Have a single focus that is clear, one that addresses the current situation and has an immediate consequence is a good one to start with. For example, for us at that point in time, what was most important was definition of a defect. What is a defect and how do we categorize them? Because we were getting defects from everywhere, and some of them were not even defects, which added to a lot of confusion. Some examples of what's most important could be, apart from definition of defects, it could be definition of ready, definition of done, um, remove single point of failure, add at least one QA member into each of the cross-functional teams, whatever is relevant for your situation. Now, remember the adage, if everything is important, then nothing is. So pick what is most important for you. Now, this should then be agreed. It should be collective. It should be a collective responsibility of everyone in the team to achieve it. It's not one person or the leader. Make a big announcement of the answer to these questions. Speak about it in meetings, speak about it in all hands, in leadership meetings, in town halls. Repeat this over and over again. Is this enough? No, definitely not. Don't stop here. Over communicate. Just because you have communicated the changes does not mean that the information has been internalized and embraced by everyone. People are generally skeptical when they are told something and unless they hear it consistently. So repeat over different situations and preferably by different people. When complacency creeps in, Inconsistent processes and contradictory processes also confuse people, so beware of that. To summarize, to break down the invisible wall, to have healthy teams, there needs to be genuine commitment, active involvement from leaders and from the team to drive the process. We all want to work in an environment of trust, better treatment of each other. We want to feel valued and for our work to have impact on others. We focus so much on changing processes, tools, technology, but what's most important is changing minds. It sounds daunting, isn't it? It is. It is. We could tear down the wall so that nothing can be thrown over it. Change is rarely easy, but building healthy teams is a monumental task, well worth every effort you put in. Thank you. Open for any questions. I can be reached on LinkedIn, on Twitter, and on ADP list for mentoring sessions. Thank you so much for this opportunity. Have a lovely day.